Hello. Welcome back to Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Today will be a relaxed Prowler day, probably. Depending on how many there are in 7-Star Village. Because the first two today are effectively small monster hunts. Foie gras faux pas, which again, it's not a goose, and it's not a fattened liver, so it's kind of not the same, but... And then 15 Ludroth. Starting with this one because I think it's different. I still don't understand the coloration of the thing above the hunter / prowler's head. Sometimes it's gray, sometimes it's red, sometimes it's orange. I do not fully understand it yet. I haven't paid enough attention, I guess. I don't think I've noticed orange before. I assume it has something to do with, the target. It would make sense that way, but... Because I'm looking for cephaloses. Those are mostly in 2 and 3? The bottom left, primarily? But I figure I'll check this while I'm here. The number of giant rocks falling is pretty funny. It's a very odd system, I think, to continually implement these small monsters. Oh, is it 7? Is it really 2 and 7? I couldn't okay, like, I can remember that some of these maps are really bad with the numbering. So I guess 3 is the one on the right. Oh, Cephalos. I hit it, and it just ignores me. And it does the weird wiggle that can attack a lot. I hate that. That part of the combo is actually the worst. So these I think are double carves. And I only need 12 Piscine livers. So I can hope that it's a 50%-ish drop. It'll help a lot if I only need to kill about 12. But I feel like that's unlikely. These quests are always kind of silly. Oh, it's way too bright in this map. Cephaloses are pretty fun as a design. Them and Cephadrome, visually. As fights, less of that, but... As designs, they're fun. They remind me of something, though. With their heads. I cannot remember what. I mean, if there's a Prowler type that has access to sonic bombs, it'd be great. Like, spend 1 point to sonic bomb them. It'd be so worth it. Foie gras is one of those weird foods that... I don't know if I probably was too quiet. Yeah, foie gras is weird because I'm pretty sure it's kind of messed up. Even just the idea of the food itself is weird. Like, I can imagine that liver will have a specific texture. I don't know if it's inherently rich in taste, which like fat would make that worse. I can't imagine what it tastes like. Okay, so I'm still at an average of 1 per kill. I'm at 5. Lovely. Actually, I think the one down here sometimes has living creatures. Not... Okay, I guess it has Hermitaurus probably. I'll check 7 again. Then I'll go up through the Gendrome Alley. And then do a clockwise loop. If this doesn't respawn. But if this respawns, I'm just bouncing between these 2 zones because they're the only 2 that I know. Kind of a fun... Like the... Like, scale limitations imposed on these older games. Like, scale limitations made these... And the zones... Did make it a lot easier to like... It makes it simpler to know, hey, this is where this monster is spawning. As opposed to like, because the borders are incredibly solid. Where like some zones, without thoroughly looking at the map in world, it's a little less obvious where the zone ends and another begins. Particularly in that swampy region of the Wildspire Waste. Like, the different zones there are not as cut and dry. Which I think matters for hunting Gajao. So it's kind of a very different... What? That face. I didn't actually see what that first drop was. I was paying too much attention to the face. It's certainly a face. Actually, it probably isn't even a face. I don't even know if you'd be able to define it as a face, but that's more on the level of pedantry than anything else. Or science. Science or pedantry. One of the two. Like, I don't know if dogs technically have faces. There's like all this snout and all that. I just don't know where something becomes a face. If a face is just like the front of a head, then anything that has a head has a face. And then do things like earthworms have heads. Not like a separate... It has ends, but it doesn't have like a skull, so it might not have a head. However, those are defined. Okay, you can't actually turn that. I thought you could turn it more than I expected. Okay, I'm gonna go back again. If they spawn, then I'm good. Oops. 3 more. Yeah, I think this is the way to do it. There's no reason to go anywhere else. I don't even know for sure if they spawn anywhere else. Kind of wonder... Been almost 100 hours on this save. I'm still relatively far from G rank because I'm doing all the quests and all that. I really wonder how... I hate these. I really wonder how long it will take to finish the entire game. I imagine G rank... Like, when I reach a certain point in G rank, I will be tired of doing all the quests. But I think I can commit to doing all the quests up until then. With the exception of maybe event quests, because event quests to me are kind of... Event quests don't feel like... They're not regular quests. They are. Like, they're generally functionally the same. But, like... I'm not worried about canon, but they're not, like... They feel like additional quests, which is what they are. This game. Oh, that's so rude. Oh, yep. You can only carry 10, but you need 12, which is a hub quest. It's a multiplayer quest. So it's less of an issue if you play it as they want you to, but come on. 2 over the amount that you can carry? That's rude. What a rude choice. I bet they're gone by the time I get back. So I probably shouldn't even try. Just kill the 2 in the next zone again. Yeah, 100 hours, not even at G rank. And I assume G rank will make up more of the game. If not including if I tried to get to Master Rank 999, that doesn't count. I'm never doing that, probably. But... I wonder how much of the game is G rank versus low and high rank. Because if it was an even split between the 3, I imagine it would only be like 180 hours to 200 hours for the whole game. That's unlikely. Because I imagine... Well, I'm not even done high rank. I still have 2 hub high ranks left. And I still have to clean up and unlock 1 more. Ooh, maybe 2 more. I can't remember. I don't remember if I'm at 9 or... If I'm already at 9 or if I'm at 8. I think I'm at 9 for village. These are actually... There's a lot of small monsters that I've disliked having to hunt. I think cephaloses might be the worst. Like, I disliked conchus because I think they're terrible. But I think cephaloses are worse because they will just sit underground and kill your frame rate. Because the frame rate's feeling pretty bad right now. No idea why. I can't even hit this. What is it doing? Okay, 1 more. Rude. 1 more. Let me out of here. Thank you. I'm out. Bye. But it's kind of neat how it was interesting how awful cephaloses are with all their swimming underground. Actually, the Prowler can go underground. Is the wet cat running slower? It is. I thought you could... Hunters can dash to... Yep, I am slower. Hunters can dash to clear it, I think. Or it's just not that long lasting and it coincidentally times out sometimes. Like rain dances. Like rain dances can be 100% effective if you just... The only time you stop a rain dance is when it rains. So they will always work. So if you just keep rolling until the debuff goes away, it'll always work. The rolling will always clear it. Which is fun. It's fun to me. The fact that just the idea of things like stuff will always work if you do it forever until it works. Well, not everything, but like things that will occur randomly can be caused by something as long as you don't give up. If you draw the wrong conclusion that it's caused by it instead of just you kept going till it happened. I don't know how important actually eating is. That was interesting. I wasn't looking, I wasn't paying enough attention. I did what I normally do. Ate the meal, input a direction right away. Maybe it didn't read the input correctly for whatever weird reason, but I couldn't move until after it said the food effect. Whereas normally when I'm a hunter, I'm pretty sure the food effect shows up halfway on the walk to the quest counter. Which is, I mean, worthless. It's completely useless information, but it's interesting to me. I'll check it again after if I don't forget. It's a fairly fun place. You can see the repeated patterns in the mountains, though. Not as much here. But the last area, there were a couple... There's like a pattern that's like a... To me, it looked like a head with like a body below it. And it was repeating all around the mountains. Okay, no sense in harvesting Ludroth. Because I can't imagine needing Ludroth for anything. Or anything that Ludroths drop for anything. Ah, as the birds fly by, crossed my mind that apparently there's no such thing as a seagull, technically. Because it's just a gull that lives near a sea. There's no, like, distinction between the gulls. But they're called seagulls, which, admittedly, even if you're nowhere near the sea, I think most people, a lot of people at least, would still just call them seagulls because, I don't know, that's just what they've always been called in at least my life. I don't live somewhere where people call them gulls. And I didn't grow up near an ocean. Obviously they weren't sea gulls. It's also like seaweed. Like, because of seaweed, sea-based seaweed, and its influence. As a kid, if it's like a lake or a river, it's like, oh, seaweed, but it's like lakeweed or whatever is a more accurate way to refer to it. Which is probably how I would refer to it now instead of calling it seaweed, because it would actually feel wrong to call it seaweed, but it's a I don't know if it's region specific, like places that, I don't know, places where people would have watched Finding Nemo, ocean stuff, and so think like seaweed was a more common concept than just like lakeweeds. Finding Nemo, I wonder how common to watch it was. Like, I wonder how popular Finding Nemo was in, like, wait, there's a way to go down there? There's a way to do something here? Interesting. I wonder if it had the same, like, international success. Like, it's well known in, I don't know why I didn't actually realize that's what I would be interacting with. I should have realized. Whether it had international success. It was very popular, at least to my knowledge, in, I would assume, a lot of the English-speaking world. At least English first language, because I don't know the age of learning English in places where it's a common second language. I don't know if it's learned right away. Like, I learned French starting in kindergarten. Not at home, though, it's a different scale. At home, it would probably be a lot easier to become fluent. But I probably wouldn't have enjoyed watching Finding Nemo in French. But yeah, those are creatures that are meant to be swimming, not logs. And then there's those other creatures that are swimming out of rocks on the other side. Pretty funny. But I wonder, because I just wonder if Finding Nemo, because I know that apparently stuff like Inside Out, there's like the facts about how different, like online internet level facts, I don't know, about how Inside Out had, I've never watched the movie, but there's scenes involving like food dislikes, and that changes from country to country because children like and dislike different foods. And I wonder if there's I can't imagine there's anything in Finding Nemo because they're all just fish that could be changed in that way. So it would just have to have, like, its own voice acting. I don't know if animated movies, like, I imagine it would be easier with animated movies to reanimate any spoken movements. It's also possible that the spoken mouth movements are generic enough that you can do many languages without having to adjust it. I don't actually know, because it probably doesn't. If it's like just mouth open, it doesn't need to be super accurate. It just needs to be close enough to, like, trick the eye. But, like, compared to live action, it'd be way easier to make it look, if it needed to be changed, it'd be way easier to change, as opposed to having the English-speaking actors redo their scenes speaking those, but they wouldn't be speaking it. It would all be, dubbed. But wait, dubbed or ADR? ADR is like recording stuff separately and then using it within it. But I think ADR implies that it's the same person acting as doing the voice, maybe? I assume it does. ADR. ADR. Is it not ADR? It is ADR. Automated dialogue replacement. Oh. That's definitely different than dubbing then. If it's automated, I guess. The only context I have for ADR is just bad uses of it, where it just sort of, it's clearly fake. Because I guess the recorded voice doesn't match. No, I'm lazy. The recorded voice, post-recorded voice, doesn't match with the, like, sound of the scene. Like, I guess, like, an echoey sound in a place that would have no echo would obviously stand out. Okay, I mean, if I finish those there for now, then Palico Ranch. So that rank is done. I still have to do all the boring stuff, but that's not important. Now it's Soratorium. Doing some of these. If the only quests that I can do are small monster hunts, I'm not doing more Prowler. Because that would be enough small monster Prowler quests for me. Sure, I have Super Cat, that's at least something. I guess I'll do it. And hope that there's only one Prowler quest. Oh, I didn't check the eating for Prowlers. Whoops, I forgot. Okay. I'm just gonna cheat. Where is the herbivore egg? Zone. Area. 10. I am in area 1. I want to find a map. I think if I go straight across here, I get to the map potential area. Because there's a path up there. There's a path there, and maybe a third at the bottom. It's very hard to tell what is and isn't a separate path. Which, like, comparing this to the zone in Rise with the desert area that I can't remember the name of. It's kind of interesting to think about how much better it really is to not have these, like, weird, like, oh, I could run this way and it works, but the lines drawing the zone transitions are so, like, they're not great. Not in a question of correct or incorrect. It just, as a system, it feels so restrictive. There's the eggs. I think 732 base is maybe better. I got hit there, but Super Cat. Okay, 512. All the way across 5 is definitely longer than 7 and 3. All the way across 2. 2 and 1 is definitely... Okay. 1 is definitely longer than 3. 5 is definitely longer than 7. And 2 is longer than 2. Oh, but I should be running in the right direction. Yeah, I think this upper path is faster. If I don't run in the complete wrong direction. Vespoids could paralyze me, and that would be a huge waste of time. It's kind of weird. I'm hoping egg quests can do something interesting. Oh, I'm just thinking about wilds right now. Oops, left. Wilds. Oh, because we go up and around. Okay, that's why it's on the left instead of the right. Wilds. They mention that the secrets are raised from an egg and all that. And it really did make me think that, yeah, it'd be great if they could, like, one egg quest to secure, like, a sacred egg. And then you earn your thing. It's obviously not earn your thing because you're going to get it right away, because presumably the beta gameplay that has been provided, shown, that is known, is presumably the start of the game. It's not a different... It's not going to change drastically. But it would be fun if the only egg quests actually have have actual reasons like that. As opposed to just, oh, just give this egg because... Why do they want the egg? Yeah, making a gift. Which is nice and all, but like... Why do you need the egg specifically? Because you want egg in the gift. Yeah, but... It's not raising a cool dinosaur mount. That corner cut saves a lot of time. Instead of going to where the point actually points to. I hate this game. You really have to waste the player's time for no reason. That doesn't make this more fun. It's just obnoxious. Well, guess I have to waste time. Because, like, not everything needs to be free and easy. But it needs to have a purpose. Like, ultra stupid difficult stuff, sure. That has its position. But tedious for no reason. There's nothing interesting about that. It's just a waste of time. That's all it is. Okay, that's somehow zoned. I should have assumed that entire area would be a zone there instead of the one that was closer. That's on the rocks. I guess there's like a wild system that occurs. It's not surprising. The system for this quest should never have anything but, you know, defensive herbivores here. Like, what's the purpose of rotating them out? No. Other than completionist sake, I really think egg quests, there's no real purpose to them. Like, they're just there to make it as an added point of tedium. Like, some parts of it can be interesting. Like, I think if they had a reward that was worth the tedium, they could be interesting. Almost like a pet. Not an actual pet, but like a... If there were egg quests that gave like costumes. And the costumes were sort of, they're eating dirt. And the costumes were appropriately representative of the type of egg. Like, oh, wyvern egg. A wyvern themed costume for a poogie. Herbivore egg, an Aptonoth themed. I don't know if there's any other types of eggs. But like something like that could be fun. And then like a low rank and a high rank version, because they will repeat the quest even though it's the exact same thing in low and high rank. That would make them like kind of fun. But I don't think they do that. I didn't pay attention to the quest rewards for this. Maybe it actually had quest rewards that were useful. It's just a Prowler quest though, so I'm pretty sure it's not an actual quest that will give anything special. Though some of them gave trade routes. It would have been fun if there's a Prowler skill for like transporting eggs where they roll on top of it. And they travel super fast, but if you run into a wall, it breaks. Probably would have been frustrating. I do think there is a transporter skill that helps with moving eggs. I'm not sure though. And there's one about stamina, but that doesn't apply to Prowlers, I'm pretty sure. Such a weird selection. Okay. Oh, the FPS felt weird there. Okay, let's see if I can... No, I must have been... No, it might take longer than as a hunter. I'm uncertain. Two gear drums. That's not terrible. That'll be the last hunt for today. Okay, the Prowler quests must be the ones that are always orange then. If I've gotten orange for all these different quests. This could be okay. If they stack together, and they stack enough, I could hit them both with piercing boomerangs. And that would be very satisfying. I'm hoping that's what happens. They stack up in a cooperative manner. They don't beat me up. And it's piercing boomerang both of them to death. I hate the monsters that just target where you were, and then they don't adjust their targeting until they reach the point where you started, are really annoying. What? Focus me. Oops. Give me the boomerang. I don't know if it helps with the power gen, but it's probably still better to have it first. Just because once I have big boomerang. Okay, that was the weird. There's sometimes it's weirdly slow about standing up. Yeah. You don't really need to do that sound effect. It doesn't really do much. This is gonna be really annoying. I mean, if they stack, it'd be nice, but it's mostly gonna be them jumping at me. And missing? What was it targeting? Did my Palico move just in time? Oh, I bet a paralysis boomerang would be pretty interesting. Just getting a lot of hits in. Although the movement ability, whatever value the term people use, is probably not great on each of the individual boomerang hits. I would assume it's pretty low compared to like a fully charged greatsword, true charged slash, which probably isn't amazing either. It's probably not worth it for status, but don't hit me, please. Thank you. I'm very cooperative. They were so bad. Oh, because are they aiming at hunter height? Like, do they not actually appropriately adjust for targeting a prowler when they leap like that? No, they just are bad at leaping. They must have some, like, set range or something. Oh, both my Palicos are dead. That's why they're actually focusing me. Okay. Oops. Okay, one's leaving. Just focus this guy because it doesn't really matter. No reason to chase. What? How'd that not hit? Oh, it can do multiple jumps in a row. See, it takes 8 years to stand up sometimes. It's very weird. Do need to heal. Which is my least favorite thing about Prowler. Other than all the other things that I hate. Other than the many other things I don't like about Prowler. I know there's health horns and great health horns, but those also use charge. And if I want to maintain the boomerangs, I don't think I have enough charge generation. Oh, good time for the true health horn. It would be nice if you did that sooner. Kinda wish there was like a... I mean, there's Mega Boomerang, but like I wish there was a piercing big boomerang that had like longer duration, cost 4 points, but just did them both and they both shared a duration instead of like the desync separate durations. Like an extra cost to be able to cast it quicker. And then, I mean, it wouldn't even need to be a longer. I can think of 4 price, and it lasts as long as piercing boomerangs, but everything else is the same as casting both. And it takes up to slots, so you can't, it's not freeing up a skill slot. Or a support move, or whatever they're called. It doesn't free up a slot. It still takes up 2. Or it takes up an extra slot, somehow. Would be very nice. Because having to cast both is just kind of tedious. Oh, I'm gonna go in. Wait, it's going. Oh, actually, that is a zone across. Okay. It's not a weird area. This is weird because it doesn't line up very well on the map. At least this is a real monster hunt. It's not a real monster, it's still just basically, again, a Velocidrome, but it's just Ice Velocidrome. Wow, all the dromes are flavored Velocidrome, they're all the same. Which I think the Roggy and them, there's a couple others that I can't remember. Like Roggy, Azuchi, the various other similar ones are a lot better. Like they're in a similar position. Oh, this time it grabbed me. I hate that mechanic. Even if it's helpful, it's just so annoying to not be able to do anything for any amount of time. Just, oh, you're in an animation, you're immune, you're fine, but it's just annoying. I'm fine without carving. Because it's a useless monster. I'm good without making high rank weapons with its parts. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we're gonna hunt it plenty. I don't know if there's any village high rank quests with this that I might have to do. I might have already done all in the level that it comes from. It actually targeted properly. Good job, Geodrome. That is a true health horn. Yeah, like true health horn would be a good heal. And I have 2 of them. Scaling these games is fun. It's like, there's no like better true health horn because your HP doesn't really scale between now and G rank. Oh, an entire head. The only thing that scales is like defense value and the offensive monsters and all that. Like, it's interesting. Because you'd be like, oh, G rank should have an upgrade to the true health horn. It probably, I mean, it might, but like it doesn't really need to. Because the amount healed is appropriate. Well, this will be it for today. Up into the mountains. What is the book? Ah, interesting. Presumably a guaranteed quest reward. Ooh, new shortest. Extra bomb blast? That will be it for today. Feels appropriate. No, I'm actually here at the Soratorium for once. It's been a while. But I actually have to swap. It'll be time to do more cleanup. Bunch of... I'm gonna eat before I stop. I'm gonna save and quit before next time anyway, but... If I do this... I eat, I skip. It's done. Oh no, I'm just silly. It is the same animation. Duration, at least. I just am crazy. Yeah. Guess next time... I really need to do these harvest tours. It's just to get it checked off. But next time I have a bunch of these to do. Some minor quests. Bunch of small, annoying ones here. A few of these that are gonna be fun. A capture quest. I'll probably do these first. There's a few that will be fun. And a few that will really not be fun, but... Ooh, a Congalala Crest targeting Prowler. That's not a bad one. The Conchu Alteroth, though, that's a not great one. So, today was a good day, mostly. Why is there a book? Whose symbol is the book? I'm not sure. Oh, I guess it's on the symbol on the flag, so it is just a segment of the... Yeah, it's just the central part of that symbol. Makes sense. But yeah, it was a good day. I hope everyone watching has a nice day. Bye-bye.